It's Tuesday, the 2nd of February, 2021. Hello and welcome to Joy News at 6 with me, Bernice Abubeidulansa.
Our hospitals have become full and we've had to reactivate our isolation center. Our average daily rates of infection now stand at 700 compared to 200 2 weeks ago. If there's no urgent reason for you to be outside, please stay at home.
The news at 6 is live on Joy 99.7 and Hits 103.9 FM here in Accra, also on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. Affiliates across Ghana, including Kalio FM at Akachi in the Volta region and worldwide at myjoyonline.com. Coming up, fuel tank explosion at a busy spare parts enclave in the Upper West region capital, Wa, leaves 2 dead and 1 person injured.
The first person that is fall down just die immediately. The other one too, we just trying to move the guy.
I just heard a noise, boom.
We have details for you, plus government justifies decision not to regulate commercial public transport in the wake of rising COVID-19 cases.
You see, what we are trying to do is we are trying to make sure that we save lives and also save livelihoods. We are combining these two, so we have to make sure that we don't disrupt whatever people are doing.
We'll hear more from the Presidential Advisor on Health.
And in business, government prepares response to Ameri over country's inability to take over power plant. We have the details plus more at 6:15.
And we have a preview of today's hearing at the ongoing election petition at the Supreme Court. When second witness for petitioner John Mahama testifies, we'll tell you what to expect. Thanks for choosing us. We are home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. The details now. 2 persons have died on Monday after an explosion of a petrol tank they were welding at the Wa Spare Parts Enclave. A passerby also sustained burns to his left arm. The workers were welding a part of the tank which leaked fuel. The incident shocked other workers in the area because they say the tank had been emptied. John News' Upper West region correspondent Rafiq Salam has the rest of the story.
Hard and difficult times at a sparsely disorganized war magazine. Workers are in somber mood as they mourn 2 of their colleagues who died on Monday as a result of the blast of this petrol tanker belonging to Razos Oil. The names of the 2 young men who died as a result of the blast were given as 24-year-old Zubairu Hamidu and 20-year-old apprentice Isaku. The duo were engaged to weld leakages on the 25,000-litre petrol tanker. Everything seems to be going on well until they heard the blast from the tanker, whose sound could be heard.
We are in our shop and we hear the blasting and we hear one of the guy, the guy is just fall down and be crying. 1 2 is inside the tank and be crying. So the first person that is fall down just die immediately. The other one too, we just trying to move the guy, and the guy to the place is short. We can't even touch this thing. And we are all there, we can't even do anything.
The 3rd victim of the tanker blast was Musin Salifusenu, better known as Warfulham. He was riding as a pillion, and upon getting closer to the scene, he was caught by the blaze.
I just heard a noise, boom. That's what I heard. And when I realized I'm having a cut in my body. Yeah. But such like the fuel tanker like this, it never happened there before.
Rafiq Salam with that report. Now, Presidential Advisor on Health, Dr. Anthony Nsiah Asare, has justified government's decision not to regulate the operations of commercial or public transports. Following the announcement of stricter restrictions to curb the spread of COVID-19, there have been calls from some civil society groups for government to regulate the number of passengers commercial vehicles can transport at a time in order to enforce social distancing. But Dr. Nsiah Asare says the low risk associated with public transports and the cost of such a regulation to livelihoods informed government's position.
If you sit in throttle, there's a capacity of people within the throttle. You see, what we are trying to do is we are trying to make sure that we save lives and also save livelihoods. We are combining these two, so we have to make sure that we don't disrupt whatever people are doing very much, and make sure that we use the safety protocols to cut down the risk that people have on this public transport. So that's exactly what we are doing.
President Presidential Advisor on Health, Dr. Nsiah Asare there. Still on COVID, Deputy General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, Dr. Titus Bayo, is warning against passing schools as safe until a risk assessment is conducted to establish the extent of exposure to the virus in the schools. This follows indications from the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Boache, that the schools are safe, a reason the President did not shut them down despite the rise in our cases. But speaking on PM Express Monday night, Dr. Titus Bayo explained to know the extent of spread of the new variant and how it behaves in children, there's a need for full assessment of schools since they are part of the larger community.
And so I have a problem with statistics that tells us that because few students have reported problems, the problem in the school is little. Until we have had a systematic way of assessing the burden in the school, we cannot make that conclusive statement. So to the extent that this new variant is affecting children and we can see the impact on children, we need a full assessment of schools to be able to make a statement on the impact on schools. But like we said, the school cannot be a safe haven alone if the entire community is still infected. So we have to tackle the community as well as tackle the school.
Dr. Titus Bayo is Deputy General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association. Away from COVID, John Mahama's second witness in the election petition will be testifying this morning. The Supreme Court on Monday discharged his first witness, Johnson Nketia, after hours of cross-examination by President Akufo-Addo's lawyer. Court correspondent Joseph Akable joins me with more. Who is this witness, Joseph, and what is his testimony to be cross-examined?
He's Dr. Michael Kpesa-White. He was one of two representatives John Dramani Mahama assigned to observe the coalition process at the EC's National Coalition Center, popularly known as the Strong Room. His testimony focuses on the fact that he claims he discovered during the course of the coalition that there were some errors in the coalition process. He tried to draw the attention of the chairperson and insists that they did not get a fair hearing to put across those concerns and were rather directed to consult their presidential candidate, only to arrive at his house to realize that the EC chairperson was declaring the results. And so that is his testimony that is to be cross-examined this morning.
Joseph Akable is court correspondent. Do stay with us here on Joy 99.7 and on the Joy News channel, on Multi-TV, DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144 as we bring you live that election petition. To the northern region now, the Tamale Metropolitan Education Directorate has begun investigations into reports of assaults on 3 teachers in Nyongini. It follows a sit-down strike by teachers in Tamale in protest of the assault on the teachers by a group of unidentified men. Addressing the media in Tamale yesterday, spokesperson for the Conference of Heads of Basic Schools, Bismarck Ampoma, said the teachers will not return to work until the perpetrators are brought to book.
Our lives are not safe. As far as these threats are there, they have been there. But we try to show them and manage them to see how best we can live harmoniously together. But as far as it has gotten to this, we want to get to the bottom of this, to let these things cease once and for all. On the basis of this, we as the teacher union have decided that we shall boycott schools till the perpetrators of this heinous crime is brought to book.
You heard that spokesperson for the Conference of Heads of Basic Schools, Bismarck Ampoma, but the Metropolitan Director of Education, Ametas Tugu, who described the incident as worrying, assured the teachers authorities will ensure justice is served.
My corps executives presented a communique to me. I've received the communique and I've assured them that I will get to the bottom of their demands. But then I have appealed and pleaded with them to go back to the classroom for us to be able to look into the matter and get to the bottom of it. They have agreed and said they were going to get back to me. They have not yet. I'm waiting. Probably, I hope this evening, probably they will get back to me regarding the appeal that I've made to them to get back to the classroom.
And that's how we end this edition of Joy News at 6. You just heard the Metropolitan Director of Education in the Northern Region, Ametas Tugu. Before I go, Arrival Live brought to you by the National Road Safety Authority with support from Toyota Ghana, Logistics Movers, and the Joy News Drive Safe campaign. Buckle up. Wearing your seatbelt is an essential safety tip. Not only are you more likely to get injured in an accident if you aren't wearing a seatbelt,